It's a beautiful day outside today, so if you are tempted to head out into the beautiful water we have here in Lane County, it's important to remember the dangers of that cold water. So right now, my thermometer is reading at roughly 50 degrees, so that would put your body into shock and inhibit you from swimming as you usually would.
It'll slow your body down, your reflexes, right? And then eventually your core temperature will get lower where you're incapacitated.
You lose your breath, most people will start panicking.
Recreating in the cold water during this time of the year can be dangerous.
The first part of the year, the river levels are up. The water is cold. We got all that snow melt dropping into here.
And this year, there's even more hazards after the historic ice storm.
You know, ice storms, you can have full trees falling into the water. You could have limbs, right? And all that stuff can pile up, especially a newer tree that's fallen. Those limbs, if you go underneath them, they can snag any article of clothing and hold you underwater.
The Sheriff's Department is being as proactive as they can.
Today, we're kind of mitigating a hazard just at the Lowhead Dam right by I-5 on the Willamette. It's basically a large cedar tree that's across, and over the last 2 years in our records, we have about five to seven rescues a year.
So if you are headed out into the water this year, you can always stop by and check one of these QR codes, and it'll take you to the Oregon State Marine Board website where you can check out where some of these obstructions are. Officials warn that the cold water is still dangerous, even for experienced swimmers. But if you do come across a hazard like this,
you hit this rock bank and just stay there and then get help on the way, call 911. So we can come assist you. If you're right in front of it, you want to try to get up on top of it as best you can. You don't want to go under it.
Lundberg believes they rescued roughly 50 people last year. And today,
911, what is the address of the emergency?
They received one of the first water rescue calls of the season.
Okay, how long has he been in the water for?
The trees, the rapids, the water temperature, it's all just encompasses how water is dangerous, and you have to realize that.
Officials recommend staying out of the water until the water levels drop. But looking ahead, when the water levels aren't as high and you do decide to recreate,
scout the area that you're floating through.
Invest in a river raft instead of a cheap pool float.
And they hit any kind of debris or the bottom, and they pop, and now they're stranded, and we have to come and rescue them.
Be sure to wear your life vest at all times, bring some form of communication, don't drink and float, and of course, be aware of your surroundings. In Eugene, I'm Juliette Smith reporting.